Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the King of the Ring podcast. My name is Anthony, and today we're going to be talking about WWE Hell in a Cell 2014. So, as always, as I like to start these, please leave some comments about the matches, about the show, what you think, because I will be reading them and I will be replying to some if you do leave them. So I want to say straight away that I enjoyed this pay-per-view. I really enjoyed this pay-per-view, and I thought it had some decent matches spread across the show. And normally I don't say that. Normally I'm very critical of some of the pay-per-views because I don't feel like they're the best, and a lot of the matches are a bit lackluster, so to say. But let's start with the first match. What a way to start the show. I'm just going to say two of my favourite wrestlers, Dolph Ziggler versus Antonio Cesaro in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the Intercontinental Belt. Now, this match I thought was a pretty awesome match. I just love watching these two guys work. I think that they've got a good chemistry together in the ring. They had a lot to each other's games. They're obviously very technical, and I'm all about technical wrestling. I'm all about the big moves. I'm all about all the so-called indie moves. I love seeing when they bring those into play, And Ziggler ended up winning 2-0. So, I mean, ideally, I think they should have given Cesaro one of the falls, because it cut out. This is going to sound a bit strange, but it almost buried Cesaro in the fact that he couldn't get a fall against the Intercontinental Champion Dolph Ziggler. And I just want to say something with Cesaro. What the fuck has happened with Cesaro? He's literally his music hit. Well, I would have to say is god awful. And there was no reaction. It's like Biggie Langston when he comes out. No one cheers, no one boos. Not even the crickets make noise. And it's such a shame because this guy, they were giving him something good, and then they took it away from him because he wasn't getting the crowd reactions. That's not his fault. They just need to go with a gimmick that works and give him some wins and build his character, 'cause he hasn't got a character. He hasn't got a character whatsoever. And when you haven't got a character, the crowd aren't interested in you. Look at the names in the past of WWE: The Rock, Stone Cold, and now see John Cena. Crowd favourites, because they've got relatable characters, and the characters, they spend a lot of time moulding and creating the characters and shaping them and giving them a lot of mic time. Sorry about this, I'm a drink. And you can't expect Cesaro to be the next, fucking John Cena, where everywhere he goes he's having massive reactions if you don't give him the time. And it was a decent match. Dolph Ziggler retained, and I have a funny feeling that they're gonna drag this out. And I'm all about watching this match, but if they keep going for too long, I'm not gonna be. So make sure to leave your opinions. Make sure if you agree with us, make sure to say, or if you disagree, make sure to say also. So we're going to go on to the next match, a match which I give absolutely zero fucks about. Was Nikki Bella versus Brie Bella, and I to be honest, going into this match, I watch Raw and whatnot, but I somehow just didn't know the stipulation of this match until the end, and I was like, what the fuck? A singles match, the loser becomes the winner's personal assistant for 30 days. If the loser does not comply, she'll be forced to quit WWE. What? This is like the worst thing ever. Now, I like Nikki Bella. I mean, she does some surprisingly good wrestling moves, which I'm all about for divas, and she looks fantastic. You know, she's getting better at she's getting better on the mic. Her character's getting a little bit better. If they treat the character, she could be really good. And with Brie Bella, she's just. I just don't like Brie Bella at all. She just cannot wrestle. She's no good on the mic. And I think this is going to end up being. I think she is going to end up quitting and maybe doing something else. But Brie Bella, she lost to Nikki. And have to say, I say every time, my God, Nikki Bella is getting more attractive every time I see her. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. But like I said, it had a few little bits in the match where it was okay, and then the rest was just incredibly boring. But make sure to let us know. Do you care about the Divas match? You know, do you care about the Bellas? Do you care? You know, just let us know, because it'll be interesting to see what you guys think. So we got Golden Stardust versus the Usos again. I'm getting sick of watching this goddamn match. I don't like any of the people in that match, and you know, Golden Stardust win. With Goldust does this, like, he lifts him up and he spins, and it's sort of like almost like a neck breaker sort of move. I thought, what happened to his old move? You know, what happened to that way? Like, he kicked them in the nuts in the corner, or I don't know. But yeah, this is another one. Like before, when I was saying about the Ziggler Cesaro thing, they might end up dragging this out for quite a while, and to try and get people interested in it, but no one's that interested in it. Usos are like the John Cena of the tag team division. You know, the super baby faces, the stand up for the little guys. You know, the same old stuff, and it's boring to watch. Golden Stardust, don't like them. They killed Cody Rhodes, in my opinion. I don't know why the hell he decided to do this. He should have stuck with Cody Rhodes. They could have probably done something. But I don't really want to talk about that match for too long, because I don't want to bore you guys. I want to get on to the good stuff. And we're going to start off first, which was actually a decent match. Was John Cena versus Randy Orton. Now, we've seen this before in Hell in a Cell and on other pay-per-views and whatnot, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be a bad match. You know, a lot of people, when they think John Cena, Randy Orton, oh, it's going to be a bad match, oh, it's going to be crap. It was actually pretty decent. There was a few decent spots, but I've got two sort of flaws about this match. One was the pacing. It was way too slow, this match. It went on for too long. You know, it went on way too longer than what it should have. It should have maybe been a 15-minute match at most, and I think it went for like, probably about half an hour. It felt like more, to be honest. And the outcome is another one. Now, don't get us right. I like John Cena. I respect John Cena for what he's done and what he's done for this business. But he's already versed Brock Lesnar. He's had his shot and he failed. Why not have Randy Orton win and see what Randy Orton's like against Brock Lesnar? Because I think that would be a good match. I think they both could play off each other's athleticism, and I think it could be a really interesting match. You know, and I think that would be a really good match. But obviously, John Cena does what John Cena does best. He comes back from an absolute beating, and I have to admit, there was two spots in this match what I saw coming before it happened. And that was when John Cena gets Randy Orton up for the attitude adjustment, and he lifts him up as if he's going to do the attitude adjustment, and Randy Orton RKO's him. I saw it a fucking mile away, Jeff, and I just face palmed. I was like, they've done this about 40 times already. The same spot. I'm surprised they didn't do it through the table like they did a canny few years back now. And it's like, oh my god, what is going on? Who's writing these spots? Who is writing these spots? And anyway, the ending of the match was pretty okay, in my opinion. I would have liked. So I'll describe for you guys if you haven't watched it yet. They have a table up in the far left turnbuckle. They've got a table there. Randy Orton was going to go for a super RKO. Now, you haven't seen him do that in a long time. And he was going to do it to a table. But John Cena ended up doing like some sort of super attitude adjustment through the table. And he covered him 1, 2, 3. So it was a pretty decent ending, but it could have been... I thought it would have been a little bit better if Randy Orton RKO'd him through the table. But we'll have to wait and see. I don't know what they're going to do with John Cena. With Brock Lesnar now, because they've done everything so far, and I just don't know. But anyway, we've got three more matches before the main event, so we're going to be talking about the next match, which is Sheamus versus The Miz. Two people I hate with a passion, because they bring nothing to the table. Month after month after month, they bring nothing to the table. They both lack character and in-ring ability, and the psychology and the mentality in the matches just isn't that good, and the matches themselves never really last that long. They never really provide a constant entertainment flow. You know, it's this. You know, Sheamus has his 2 or 3 spots that he does, and then he bro kicks and he wins. It's boring. It's the same old shit yet again. But the best part of this match is Damien Sandow. I'm not going to call him Damien Mizdow, because that's just the most retarded thing I've ever heard. Why would you call him Damien Mizdow? I don't get it. It's just stupid. Damien Sandow is amazing. I love him. I loved him when he first started out, and I love him now. It's just I'm just tired of saying how many times I'm sick of WWE burying this guy at the point where he's never going to return as his own individual character, and he's never going to get over because he's always been buried as gimmick after gimmick after gimmick after gimmick. You get the picture, as Stone Cold once said. And he's absolutely hilarious. He copies Miz every move, and there was a bit at the end of the match. So Sheamus wins with the bro kick. Damien Sandow crawls in the ring and pretends like he's knocked out as well. And then Sheamus starts playing with the Miz, like lifting his arm up and whatnot, and Damien Sandow does that as well. And in the end, he started doing the YMCA with the Miz while he was unconscious. And there's very few things in life make me give up as hard as what I just saw there, and that was one of them moments. I just grabbed, I pressed the screen and I just skipped that bit. I was like, I'm not watching that. That is stupid. They were going on like idiots. And I know it's about entertainment and stuff, but that's not my entertainment. That's for like kids or something like that. I don't know. I don't get it, and I don't want to get it. And it's just crap. And you know, Yeah, I don't even know what to say. Make sure you let us know what you think, and if you thought that was as stupid as I thought. So the next match, we've got the El Generico match, which is Rusev versus another big guy who's fighting for America, and that is the Big Show. So, yet again, Rusev's versing someone in a feud that no one cares about. No one cares about this. And I don't care about this, so I'm not really going to talk as in depth as some of the other matches. This match was incredibly boring. Rusev, I love Rusev's super kicks. I think they're awesome. Mark Henry comes down, he gets super kicked to shit. Then Big Show's in the camel clutch, and for some reason the ref stops the match. Which that you know what that means? They're gonna drag this out for another pay-per-view because Big Show be like, I didn't tap out. I didn't tap out. I was fighting back, and I didn't tap out. I'm gonna kick your ass. And then they're gonna do it another pay-per-view, and then he's gonna lose. I can see this happening a mile away. It pisses us off, and it just shows you how bad the WWE is today with having predictable moments in feuds. Back in the day when you were younger and they changed it up, you didn't know what was going on, and that's when you had that excitement. There's no excitement because I've watched so much wrestling. I just know what's going to happen, and it just bores us to death. So Rusev's got another win. It just makes you think, who the hell are they going to bring back or get in the picture to beat Rusev? I don't know, and I'm not really that bothered. So the next match, in my opinion, was a bit of a disappointing match, which is annoying because I was kind of looking forward to this match. It was AJ Lee versus Paige for the Davis Championship. AJ wins with a submission, and then Paige turns on Alicia Fox. That's pretty much it. It's so bad. Like I don't understand. Like they had a great Divas match last pay-per-view, and the Triple Threat Divas match. It was a great match, and then it comes to this. It comes to this, and it's just disappointing, guys. It really is disappointing. I just don't know where they're going to go with this feud. And I'm just not that bothered, to be honest. Like I said, make sure to leave your guys' opinions. Do you care about that feud between AJ and Paige anymore? Because you know, because the Diva division is so thin on talent. They've got a few divas, but none of them have got talent. Not a lot of them have got talent, and not a lot of them can wrestle, and not a lot of them are over. So you're really struggling to find people who people care about in the Divas division to put on pay-per-view. Because a lot of these divas nowadays are just on Total Divas. And not a lot of them are on TV, getting that exposure, getting the graft, learning the ropes, and putting in good shifts. And, you know, it's annoying to say the least, but what can you do? What can you do? So now, guys, I said to some close friends, I said this is gonna be match of the night, and by God, it was match of the night. I loved this match. I knew I would. I saw it coming from a mile away, and it didn't disappoint. Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose, Hell in a Cell. Now, this match started off where Dean Ambrose went in the ring and he chucked chairs and all sorts of stuff all over, and I was like, this is looking good, this is looking good. He then climbs on top of the cell with a kendo stick. And then Seth Rollins comes down, and Seth Rollins sends Jamie Noble and Joey Mercury to climb up, and Dean Ambrose starts beating him up. Seth Rollins comes up. They start fighting on the top, and that was awesome. I love it when they fight on the top of the cage, because they never normally like. There was a period of time where they sort of stopped going on top of the Hell in the Cell, and they started to just use the inside and the outside, but not the top. And it was nice to see that return, because it's more dangerous and it's more entertaining. And Jamie Noble ate shit off a suplex from Dean Ambrose on top of the Cell, and that was amazing. It would have been hilarious if the roof had caved in. Jamie Noble did like a Triple H Mick Foley, where like he got flung over and just slammed straight through. Sound just went straight through the ring. That would have been awesome, but it didn't. And then they were both fighting on the side, and I was like, in my head, when they were on this side, I'm like, it's going to be Undertaker, Shawn Michaels. He's going to hit him. He's going to fly off, and he's going to land through the Spanish announce table. But to my surprise, they both fell off and both slammed through the tables, and it was an awesome moment. It was a pretty badass moment. And then I was like, they're gonna bring the stretchers out. They're gonna come off the stretchers and fight each other. What a surprise! They did. It's like I'm Mystic Meg. Guys, I should be a psychic. I can see this coming 3 blocks ahead. You know, it doesn't take a genius to see this happening, because they did it with Undertaker and fucking Mick Foley, Mankind. And it's just annoying, but it's badass at the same time. They put on some fantastic spots in this match. They both got slammed through tables in the ring. They put chairs, you know, there was just badass spots all over the place. Kane came in and he used a fire extinguisher on Dean Ambrose, like through the side of the Hell in the Cell, sprayed him, and then Seth Rollins powerbombed him through the top, like through the table, sorry, towards the front side of the cage, closest to the ramp. That was pretty badass. And then Dean Ambrose elbow dropped Seth Rollins through a table on the outside that was like, it was like balanced on the apron, and the legs were extended, and he went through the table, and that was pretty badass. And then Seth Rollins hit him with a curb stomp, and Dean Ambrose kicked out. And then all of a sudden, the lights go out, and I'm thinking, what's going on? You start hearing this weird talking. I was like, what? Like, whose gimmick is this? Whose gimmick is this? Like, when the lights go out, instinctively I'm like, it's the Undertaker. But then I was like, why would the Undertaker come back in Hell in a Cell for Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins when there's nothing there? I mean, it would be badass. I would have marked out if Undertaker came back in the Hell in a Cell, because that's where a lot of his matches were insane, in the Hell in a Cell. And anyway, the lights, you can see other people's phones in the audience, which is badass when they do that like the flash thing. There's a lamp in the middle, and this hologram starts to come out, and my mind's racing at this point. I'm like, who the fuck was this going to be? But obviously, when you saw the light, you're like, it's Bray Wyatt. But my mind was just all over the place, and I was just like, this could be amazing. And Bray Wyatt comes back, and he costs Dean Ambrose the match, and Seth Rollins picks up the win in the main event, which was definitely, in my opinion, a 5-star match. I thought it was a badass match that had a lot of cool moments. And I'm just going to say before we sort of wrap it up here, that in my honest opinion, this pay-per-view deserved a better crowd. Oh my sweet lord, this crowd was one of the worst crowds I've seen in a long time. I just don't. I don't get it. Like, I want, right? I want that goddamn the Monday Night Raw crowd after WrestleMania, every goddamn show, every pay-per-view, because then it would be exciting to watch. Because this crowd just didn't eat this match up as much as they should have. And see, yeah, Bray Wyatt came back. It ended on Bray Wyatt, and uh, I'm interested to see where they're going to take this with Bray Wyatt. Maybe give him a feud with Dean Ambrose. That'd be badass. Maybe Bray Wyatt has sold his soul and he's going to join the Authority. That'd be pretty cool. So yeah, we're going to wrap it up here, guys. It's been about 25, 26 minutes, and thank you guys for listening. Make sure to leave some feedback for the show, and make sure to leave your score. Oh, I haven't given a score. God damn it. If I'm going to give this pay-per-view a score out of 10, I think I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It was a really good pay-per-view where it could have been a lot better if a lot of the other matches held up as much as the main event did. And I think if the crowd was a bit better, it might have got a 9. But yeah, make sure to leave your review score in the comments as well. And yeah, guys, I'll see you at the next pay-per-view. Take care, guys.